Hey, glory to Jesus Christ. I was recently asked by one of our fellow parishioners to do a couple reflections on the Bible, specifically, how do we start reading the Bible, right? It could be a really intimidating book, and with, fat Bibles, skinny Bibles, hardback Bibles, leather Bibles, study Bibles, not study Bibles, different translations, all these things can prevent us from actually even getting a Bible or picking one up and just getting started. So that was the first question that I wanted to approach today is, how do we pick a Bible that we know is going to be reliable and that we could trust in to start diving into? So that's what I want to approach today, and then in a second video possibly go through how to start reading the Bible, depending on where you want to start, how you want to start, what kind of personality you have, and what might be, a good sequence of books to read. And then in a third video, possibly go through some secondary sources that can help you add some context to what you're reading. So to get started though with picking a Bible, if you're buying a new Bible, that is, there's some things to look into right away. First would be, does it have all the books? I know that could be a little bit of a relative question in some circles, but just to simplify it, there are Catholic and Orthodox Bibles, and then there are Protestant Bibles. Protestant Bibles are missing a number of books. So when you go to a bookstore and you see a Bible on the shelves, there's a good chance that it could be a Protestant Bible. It could only have 66 books. Whereas Catholic and Orthodox Church have a lot more books, all of which are in the Old Testament. So our New Testament is the same, the Old Testament is not the same. So the first question to ask is, provided we're Catholic, is it a Catholic Bible? Second is, what translation is it? Now, a lot of people like to say something like, this is a King James Bible, therefore it's a Protestant Bible. Well, that's not true. This is a Protestant King James Bible that I own, and this is an Orthodox Study Bible that is in the King James translation. So don't confuse translation with whether or not it's Catholic or Protestant. So you could have a Catholic or Orthodox King James Bible, and you could have a Protestant King James Bible. So know that distinction right off the bat. And when you go into translation also, understand translation just means that it is brought to you in a vernacular language from the original languages that it was written in, which is Hebrew, Greek, Hebrew and Greek, with a little bit of Aramaic. So with that, you get a lot of different types of translations. You have formal translations, which are really literal, or you have more dynamic translations, which translate more in the spirit of what they think, the translator thinks the Bible is intending to say. And that's an important question to ask too, because there are some very, just straight heretical translations out there that are not intellectually honest, and there's some that are so literal that it's really difficult to even read. So you got to ask that question. So is it Catholic? What translation is it? Third is deciding whether you want to get a study Bible or not. I would recommend, if you're going to be studying the Bible, to get a study Bible. It just makes sense. Now, study Bibles are, just like translations, they have their own set of biases in them, so it's good to pick a good study Bible that you can rely on the majority of the annotations in there, or the explanations. And then lastly, how does it feel in your hand? If you're going to be spending a lot of time with the Bible, you want something that feels good in your hand, that's, nice leather or something like that. That's just a personal preference, but you just want a nice, beautiful Bible to hold on to that you can carry with you throughout your life. So from there, those four things: is it Catholic? Look at translation. Is it a study Bible or not? And what does it feel like in my hand? Those four things. And from there, I have a few recommendations that I use that I think you could rely on if you chose to go ahead and purchase them. Of course, this is just my biased opinion, so take that as it is, right? So my first Bible is the Didache Bible with commentaries based on the Catechism of the Catholic Church, Ignatius Bible edition. It's put out by, I think, Ignatius Press. Coincidentally, it doesn't actually have the Didache in it. But I don't know what that's all about. But this Bible I love. This is the Bible that I typically use. See, I got, highlighter in there and different subjects and stuff. So this is the primary Bible that I use. I put Bible tabs in it to locate books. And this is a really great Bible. It has, summary of sacred scripture in it. It has a section on how to read the Bible. It also has a lot of explanations of different things. For example, I just found this one real fast. It's, fallen angels. It has an explanation on, what are the fallen angels. So it's teaching you throughout. So you could locate, I think there's like 700 apologetics explanations in this Bible. And you could just go and find the answer to certain things, which I feel is really helpful. And then it's cross-referenced with different Bible verses and things like that. It also has a summary at each book. It has a summary of that book. So in this case, Luke. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a summary. It's author, date, audience, who it's writing to, the main themes, things like that. It has beautiful maps, so you could add a little bit of context map-wise in there. It also has a glossary of terms, obviously, and and you could search the different subjects by their name and then find them throughout the Bible, whether it's in the apologetics explanations or in the Bible itself. So it's a really good study Bible. Look, I've added my own sections. For example, I have a summary of the parables and where to find them and where they overlap and things like that. So really great Bible. Okay, so there's that one. Next is and that was a RSV translation, Catholic edition. This is the Orthodox Study Bible. Feels really good in the hand, very flexible. The other Bible that I have there, it's wrapped in leather, but it's a hardbound book. So I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that particularly. This Bible is fantastic. This, like I said, is a King James, and King James, beautiful translation. It just has all the books, right? So that's the key indicator there. I love this Bible because it has great little comments at the bottom, as well as look at that beautiful iconography. Just you could sit and you could find these icons printed throughout the Bible and just pray with the icons. Absolutely beautiful, right? It also has summary at the beginning of each book. It has who the author is, the date, the major theme. It has an outline, which I found very, very cool. Another thing, this is an Orthodox Study Bible, so it follows the readings for the week. So it actually has a section in certain parts where you could find that when it's read during Divine Liturgy. Super neat. The other Bible didn't have that. It also has apologetics explanations, for example, deification, theosis, things like that, within the Eastern tradition. So it's obviously written from an Eastern perspective. It's not as robust as the other Bible. The other Bible had, like 700 of these explanations. I think this one has 50, but still really neat. It has a section on how to read the Bible. And another thing this Bible has, especially coming from the Eastern tradition, it has morning prayers, and on the next page it has evening prayers. So if you're looking for morning and evening prayers, and maybe you just don't want to dive fully into the divine praises and things like that, this is one-stop shop. You just have it right here in your Bible. So feels really good in the hand. Absolutely beautiful Bible. I would recommend this Bible greatly. It's not perfect. I mean, unless you're reading in the original languages, I doubt that there is a perfect translation, but there it is. Okay, So I know I'm getting kind of long on this, but third is not a study Bible. Maybe you don't want a study Bible. That's okay, right? Maybe you just want a regular Bible. This might look familiar, okay? This is the same translation as my green Bible, the Didache Bible, except it is not a study Bible. It's just straight Bible, right? Beautiful pages, durable pages, has a nice soft tone to it, so it's really easy on the eyes. This is leather. It feels really good. This is our family Bible that we use, throughout the year to read. That's just available to everybody. Gorgeous Bible. I think you can get this for like $50 or $60. It's worth it. It's just a great Bible to have around. It's the Ignatius RSV Second Catholic Edition Holy Bible, and you may have seen these in the pews. It's the same as the Bible that we have in our pews that were a gift from the eparchy. I think those are hardback. This is leather. So, of course, if you need a Bible, you could buy this. If you can't afford to buy a new Bible, find somebody at church and we'll definitely get you one. No problem. And then last is probably the best formal or literal translation of the Bible out there that's in English, and that is the Douay Rheims. This is my Douay Rheims. It's like a pocket edition. It's obviously very thick. It's leather. It feels really good. I want to get a bigger Douay Rheims because I don't like how small this is. It's very small words, but I'll just touch on the translation itself. The translation is phenomenal. It's more in that older English, but for hundreds of years it was affirmed as the best and most literal translation, at least in the Catholic Church, of the Bible. So, and this is the translation that we use throughout most of the church for hundreds of years, for personal study and things like that after the print and press. So I believe every family should have a Douay Rheims Bible in their house. So if you want to pick up a Douay Rheims Bible, I don't know if they make study edition Douay Rheims Bible. They may. I haven't seen one. But if you want to buy another Bible, I highly recommend it. St. Benedict Press, I believe. See, they make some good imagery in this, although it's black and white. Makes some beautiful Douay Rheims Bibles out there. So that's it. And this is one of my favorite subjects, and I've been talking now for almost 13 minutes, so I'll have to cut it off. I could talk about this all day, but next video I want to go over some what was I going to say in the next video? How to read the Bible just based off of your own personality and where to start, things like that. And then, of course, secondary sources as well to help with added context if you're wanting to dive in. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, Catholic, look at translation. Probably get a study Bible. Get it leather bound. I would recommend the Orthodox Study Bible, King James translation, or that green Didache RSV. There are some other great ones though, so feel free to contact me if you have a question on what kind of Bible you should get. So, God bless.